Join me, Wuve, in getting my AuDHD life back together again. I've created so many guides over the years, and my AuDHD is always like, I'm tired of this, and I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. If that sounds like you're in the right place. So let's go step by step with getting back on track. Let's start with what I know works. So what has always worked for me is writing things down. Brain dump. Brain dumping is one of my greatest tools, whether it is on one of my DIY whiteboards or on my phone. Now, I am all about notebooks. I am all about writing things down. That's why I love to have a whiteboard. And when I am out and about, I love to use the classic just pen and paper. But as you can see, I have a color-coded pen, which helps me immensely with different categories and to separate my thoughts on the go. When I'm at home, whiteboard works best. When I brain dump my thoughts on my phone, they go on the Tasks app, which you can find a video about down below. So step 1, brain dump. When in doubt, brain dump. If your brain just does not want to use any of the methods you have set up, just write everything down, write it out, or type it out. Get it out of your brain. Briefly go over the Tasks app. It's very customizable, but it's also very straightforward, which really helps my AuDHD brain. Just a tip from my experience, my best thoughts come out immediately when I wake up. That's why I'm like, wake up, brain dump. And if I can help it, best thing I can do is stay off my phone for at least 1 hour before I wake up. This saves me from overloading my brain of so much information right when I wake up that I am already overwhelmed by the time I get off doom scrolling on my phone. So if your brain is like, oh, I gotta go on my phone, do it to brain dump. Brain dump first, because that tells you what your brain wants to do for the day. Not that we want to be controlled by our brain too much, but AuDHD is... You really gotta work with AuDHD. You gotta try and find that even ground. As soon as you wake up, your brain could be in a different state than last night. Which is why I like to say, let's see what kind of day I'm gonna have. By doing that brain dump with the brain that you woke up with that morning, you're already on a great start. Now the next step, doing things by steps. It can be hard, but that's why we write them down. There's actually a website I've come across that helps you make tasks step by step that breaks it down even more. If you would like a tool, regardless, I think it's best for it to just be you and the paper or you and your phone, because the distractions are endless. Even if we need something broken down step by step versus the ADHD side being like, no, I'm not going to do step by step. I don't feel like sitting there writing it down. That seems very painful and tedious, which our brains can be like that some days and not want to put up with it. I get that. If your brain doesn't want to break it down that day, instead just write down or have in front of you what you're doing. Just having that helps immensely, because with the AuDHD brain, in my experience, your brain likes to trail off and go in Dee Dah Land and goes down its own path, and then it turns around and it's like, oh, how did I get here? That's why we have what you're doing in that moment written down. So you'll glance down and see that task you're doing and you're like, oh yeah. And then you can skip along your way on that path that you ended up going down, but direct yourself onto the right path and not go onto those other paths that are along this magical trail. Of course, with this being AuDHD, here's a bit of a side story. Whenever I'm out and about with my husband, I tend to trail off myself and see, ooh, shiny, or ooh, pretty. And then I get snapped out of it by my husband saying, Wuve. So that's why he holds my hand whenever we go out somewhere. To be able to stick to what we're doing, we need some focus tools, like the one you're hearing right now, these nature sounds. This helps me immensely with keeping my focus. So step 3, we need something to be able to keep our focus to continue doing this task that we need to do. I'm going to give you guys a basket here of the tools that I think are really great go-tos to have to keep yourself going with finishing this task and not just leaving it or getting overwhelmed or getting tired of it. Because I cannot fathom enough how real it is to be able to try and do something, but just having to walk away because you just cannot keep your focus. And that's most likely because we're not getting enough dopamine. We need that energizer. We need that stimulation. We need that drive to keep us going, to keep us interested in what we're doing, to keep it fun. I found that the AuDHD brain loves to have all of the senses at work to keep you focused, whether it's with your hands. This is one of my favorites. Whether it's with your mouth, whether you're chewing gum or having a nice snack, I like chocolate milk and chocolate chip cookies. Those are my favorites for giving me that more of that energy too. I've heard that cheese is great for our AuDHD brains as well. Some more helpful tools to help you get that task done is also what you're sitting on. Like I'm on a stool, for example, where I can go like this. Being able to adjust how you sit, being able to walk around. AuDHD, in my experience, wants so much flexibility. It's all about keeping your drive, keeping that drive to keep on going and finish that task. And I believe by having these tools before you know it, that task is done and it wasn't as painful as usual without these things. It wasn't as hard to get through as it could be without these tools. Being able to get up, move around, take breaks, even exercise. I gotta tell you, exercising doesn't even need to be much at all. It could be something as simple as just stretching a rubber band. These resistance bands help you keep up your strength, and they're lots of fun to do. Whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, getting that fresh air and sunshine and just walking outside, or even sitting if your body doesn't want to walk, is a great tool to have in your basket to help keep your focus. A tool that's near and dear to my heart that I use all the time is Breathwork. You can do so much with your breath and it's always with you. So it's not a tool that you would need to carry around. So here's a quick one for you with breath. You breathe in 4, hold 4, and then breathe out for 4, and do it again. So that's one of my favorite breathing methods. You're holding in 4, holding for 4, breathing out 4, holding in for 4, and doing it all over again. I love it because you can't forget how many times you're holding in or breathing out 4, and it's so good at helping clear your mind. In my experience, it helps regulate your emotions, it helps you gain back your focus, it puts you in the moment, and it helps your AuDHD brain not be so scattered and all over the place. If this helped inspire you, send me some love by liking this video. Let me know in the comments what method works for you, whether it's drinking chocolate milk with cookies or going on a nice walk in the sunshine. If you'd like to stick by me on my forever bittersweet AuDHD journey, like you, who probably has AuDHD like me, please subscribe. Spread the love by sharing this video with someone who may have AuDHD or someone that could just benefit from this.